Like and subscribe right now, or else this is going to be in your bed tonight. r/AskReddit. What is a sign that you're unattractive? When you post a picture to social media and all the comments are about how brave you are. I love your courage. I'm a wheelchair user who sometimes does photo shoots. I hear this a lot. Not many understand why it hurts to hear. Listen here, turbo wheels. You run their goddamn toes over and smile at them and tell them they're so brave to feel pain in their toes. Duck them. You're 13 and at a sleepover, and a fellow 13-year-old you've known for 20 minutes looks you straight in the eye and, unprompted, says you're really ugly. I'm less ugly now, but it was true at the time. You're a beach Jordan. I remember being uglier as a 13-year-old too. Puberty maybe. Anyways, go to Jordan, unprompted, and tell her that you/I'm the man of Reddit agrees that she's a beach. Puberty really ducks some of us. I was but ugly from like 10 to 19. That's the only time I met her, but I'm comfortable assuming Jordan's probably still out being a beach somewhere to this day. The only compliment you get is that you're funny, or that you're nice. I try to be funny and nice, more nice than funny because, honestly, I'm probably not funny at all. But I've never gotten these compliments. I'm not saying I'm good looking. Even my female friends barely bat an eye at me unless we are having a conversation. Most guys don't ever get compliments. Girls are worried that they'll take it the wrong way and other guys think it's gay or at least weird. Also, if you never go out in circumstances where strangers will try and start a conversation with you, you're not gonna get compliments either, unless you do something really extra, so your friends actually notice. So no, every introvert isn't ugly. Everybody calm down lol. Or smart. As a girl growing up, being called smart was code for, it's a good thing you have brains, because you certainly don't have the looks. Or genuine. People social distancing to me before it was introduced. Jokes on them. Now they are all struggling being alone, while you are just fine. Preventing infectious diseases before it was cool. Yeah, with me being the infectious disease. When your friends say they want to set you up with someone, and they'll run it by the other person then get back to you, then you never hear about it ever again. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm unattractive. I mean, I simply might not be their type. But also, it's happened a few times now, so I wouldn't read into that too much. Some people get flaky when it comes to being set up by friends, especially if they overthink it. What if we hit it off and then have a bad breakup and have a bunch of mutual friends and it's awkward to see each other, etc. I had a friend, A, that I wanted to set me up with one of her friends, B, but she just wouldn't do it. I later found out that A was in love with me, and that probably explained why she wasn't any help. I have like a similar, but almost opposite problem. I'm single most of the time. Once though my brother and sister-in-law asked me if I would date someone significantly younger than me. I said sure, but depends how we get along. My sister-in-law was like see, he would. Turns out she wanted to set me up with a girl who was cute, mature for her age, and liked gaming, who had been shown my picture and thought I was attractive, but my older brother was like nah, he wouldn't be interested. So later on that girl dated someone my age anyways, and they told me this, of course after. Then twice when I started dating someone. Hey, I have a friend I want to set you up with. She says she thinks you're cute. Or hey, I know someone looking to date. Are you interested? Great. The 99% of my life when I'm single? Absolute crickets. And when you do get set up, it's with people who you find unattractive and realize that's how other people must view you too. They're trying to set you up with someone, so this isn't a sign of anything. If they thought you were unattractive they would never ever bother. Doesn't necessarily mean you're unattractive. When I've been a matchmaker in this situation, it's often meant that I've impulsively chosen two friends who I thought were good looking and nice, but after questioning, have realized that they're fundamentally not compatible. If I had a nickel for every time I've heard you're such a great friend, I know who would be perfect for you, I'd probably be able to eat at Olive Garden for a week. Worse than that, friends set you up. At first glance you can tell the person is repulsed by your looks. They spend the entire date making it clear they would rather be anywhere but with you on this date. Then afterwards your friends never talk about it. Never ask you how it went, what you thought of the other person. Nothing. You instinctively know the other person let them know how repulsed they were with you, and your friends don't have the heart to tell you. So they simply never bring it up again. Or being the matchmaker for your crush, because they only see you as a friend. When people talk to you, in order to get to know your friend. Man, I felt that punch in the gut. Used to happen to me all the time. Yup, that happened to me when I was in high school. I remember it was literally the worst feeling in the world, especially when that person was someone you found attractive. Happened to me in junior high. My best friend, hot new guy, and I engaged in a water fight during lunch. The bell rang, and he touched my shoulder and asked if I could stay back a second because he wanted to ask me something. After 3 years of walking quietly in the shadow of my best friend's incredibly massive middle school breasts, I cannot describe the feeling of finally being seen by someone I liked. He asked me if my best friend would say yes if he asked her out, even though my soul was crumbling out my butt in that moment. I told him she would and walked her over to him, picking up my backpack and walking to class all alone, looking back and seeing them holding hands and smiling into each other's faces. I think he's gay now. I've always been an extremely androgynous woman and not particularly good looking. I absolutely adored a boy in my study group. We got along well and would cuddle on the couch a lot. We were child actors, so we had our study group in our tutor's apartment. I finally got up the nerve to ask him out, and he said, listen, if I wanted to look like I was dating my little brother, I'd date my little brother. Absolutely ducking destroyed me. That and a few other things combined to give me such hellish low self-esteem that I wasted years of my life with an abuser who I thought was the only one that would ever love me. Small kid saying you are ugly, yes, or ask about a certain aspect of your appearance. Why is your head so big? If you tell a self-deprecating joke, everyone will look uncomfortable or get quiet. Edit. Wow, my most popular comment by far is about self-deprecating jokes. Fun. This hits home way too hard. I used to do this and also overshare with people I just met because I didn't want there to be awkward silence, but subsequently I've started giving less of a duck and it's been really beneficial. The only people who smile at you are people who work in retail. Ha, joke's on you. I had a red district girl smile at me. Hate to tell you, but that's considered retail. I thought that was wholesale. When the popular kids would prank their friends by getting you to ask their friend out. I was asked out by one of the popular girls in high school once. I thought she was messing with me, so I said no. Turns out she genuinely wanted to date me. Low self-esteem sucks. You are not alone. I'm here for you. You only match with bots on Tinder. And then those bots tell you that you're ugly. When someone of the opposite gender hugs all your friends but high-fives you, don't be hurtful. Like in Harry Potter, when Hermione finally comes back and hugs Harry but shakes Ron's hand, whose wand ended up doing magic in her. When people's eyes just consistently glaze over you when you go clothes shopping with a friend and the shop clerks greet your friend when you enter the store, but not you. I had really bad acne in high school. It sucked at the time, but now I can laugh at the fact I used to look like a lumpy tomato. But babies would always cry, and I recall a lot of dogs barking at me. I had facial acne and then horrible back acne, which meant that I couldn't take my shirt off as a teenager. The anxiety and horror of dealing with this was unbearable. I could write a book about it. When people don't laugh when you joke about how unattractive you are, and then you purposely laugh at your own joke to signal to people that it is a joke and they should laugh because you now feel very uncomfortable. But they'd rather you feel uncomfortable than risk seriously hurting your feelings by laughing. I mean, at least they try to be nice to you. You're always the one who has to start a conversation. Conversations end when you try and participate. Ouch. To real. I refuse to believe that this is because I'm ugly. Instead it's just because I'm extremely awkward and nobody wants to go through the pain of talking to me. That's what I tell myself anyways. Makes me feel better. When you smile at someone and they pretend they didn't notice. I pretend not to notice people because of anxiety, ugly or not. Personally, I'm more likely to pretend not to notice a good looking person smiling. A combination of anxiety and lack of self-confidence. Yeah, I absolutely do not smile back at people. Lol. If anything, I'll give a friendly nod. Clicking on this thread to see how many things you relate to. This scrolling has made me sad because I relate to all of them and tell myself I'm ugly. Stop hurting me with the truth. I mean, no one speaks to me, so I can't relate, I guess.